This is the farm that I grew up on. Have wonderful memories from the farm. I wasn't able to find a ton of pictures from all the memories that I had, but I used ones from Google Images to help kind of make up the story as best I could that represented what I remember when I was younger. This is the farm as it looks today. This is an original picture of the farm. That little tree, as you'll see later on, grows big, where we used to play lots of hide and seek. These are our sheep, Esmeralda and Gracie. Used to feed them and play with them all the time. I actually used to try and ride them. Chickens were my favorite. Spent lots of time in the chicken coop, hugging and playing with the chickens and chasing them. And all we used to go out and get our own eggs, so we used to have to go in underneath them, laying them. I used to have to grab them. I spent a lot of time with the chickens, chasing them all around and hugging them. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes the eggs were a little gross when you picked them up, but I kind of got used to it as I got older. Just part of farming. And no matter what time of year it is, you still have to feed the sheep, so we would bring them grain and molasses in the wintertime to keep them warm. In the fields, we used to run through the fields and play hide and seek in the fields. And we also used to hay our own fields. This is the tractor that we used to hay our fields with. It's a Farmall, which I did learn to drive eventually. And the raspberry patches, oh my gosh, they were my favorite. I lived in them, especially in the summertime. If you couldn't find me, I was in the raspberries eating them. My grandmother always used to get really mad at me because I was eating them. But they're just still to this day, they're my favorite food. I love raspberries. And that looks just like me in the raspberry bushes. This is the view from one of our fields. It's a very gorgeous view, very peaceful. And the Ford tractor is where I began to learn how to drive. It was a lot of fun. My grandfather taught me, and I started on this tractor. And after I got good at this tractor, I was able to move on to the bigger tractor, which is the Farmall, which is this tractor. I felt pretty proud. And my grandmother and I used to spend a lot of time baking together and cooking. She taught me a lot of things about how to bake and how to cook. She's still alive today at 92, and she still bakes. Um, but I had a lot of fun with her. Spent a lot of time in the kitchen. My grandfather and I spent a lot of time in his workshop, just tinkering around and talking. And he was the first person to teach me how to hammer a nail, and that was fun. This is a picture of the farm now, and I used to love to run through the fields and pick the flowers. It was my favorite part, and chase grasshoppers. I was able to find some pictures. This is the view from the top of the hill behind the farm. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you can see the farmhouse and the grandpa's shop. Little red building is grandpa's shop. This is the barn. We used to play hide and seek in the barn. It was lots of fun and hide in the hayloft. Another picture on the lower fields looking up at the view. Absolutely gorgeous any time of year. Another view. And this is looking in the back of the house. It's the bunkhouse, grandpa's shop in the back of the farmhouse. Another picture of the view because it's just gorgeous. This picture is coming down the road on Gillingham Drive. This farm meant the world to me. It still does, and doing this story makes me smile. I'll never forget the farm. It was the best years of my life, and I hope you enjoyed the story just as much as I did.